All right, so here is the chapter 3 exam review. The first whole page is like a fill in the blank. So a slide is a what? Translation. Good. Lines that do not lie on the same plane and do not intersect are skew. Fix these if you missed them. These lines intersect to form right angles. Those are called perpendicular lines. And two lines that lie on the same plane and do not intersect are called parallel lines. So anything you missed up there, go ahead and fix it. I'll give you a note card today, so anything that you're still struggling with, you can put on that note card. You should be good to go. Number 5, if two lines are perpendicular, they form 4 right angles. Two adjacent acute angles that form a blank angle are complementary. That's if they form a right angle. If blank angles form a linear pair and are also congruent, they must be right angles. That is if two angles form a linear pair. Pair means two. All right angles are, that is congruent. So fix that if you missed it. Like I said, we're going to go through this a little on the quicker side, just so we can have some time to work on those note cards and chapter 4 together. Number 9, line AF and line DC, those look skew. They're not on the same plane. They're not going to intersect. AD, so this front part of the box, and BC, those look parallel. They are on the same plane, but they're not going to intersect. DG, so DG is like the front of the box, and GH, those look perpendicular. All right, questions on those 3. All right, this next one, the directions say that line G is perpendicular to line E. Line G is also perpendicular to line F. We are asked if these statements are true or if we don't have enough information. So angle 6 and angle 10 are congruent. That's true because all right angles are congruent. All right, next, angle 6 and angle 9, we don't have enough information because we don't know anything about the measure of angle 9. And then angle 7 and angle 11, those are both right angles because they're where those two lines intersect that are perpendicular. So it's the same thing as number 12. True. The reason is all right angles are congruent. All right, now we're getting into the parallel lines with the transversal. This is definitely note card material. I mean, we did a whole lot with this stuff, all these different angle relationships. So 12 and 15, that's same side interior, so that's D. 10 and 13 is also same side interior. Angle 9 and angle 16, those are on the outside and different sides, so that would be alternate exterior. Angle 10 and angle 14, those are both to the right and up of the intersection points, so those are corresponding. 12 and 16, those are also corresponding, so A. And then 10 and 15, that's alternate interior. Different sides of the transversal, but inside the parallel lines. You guys had a big sheet that we colored and it had a bunch of information on it. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? If you guys still have that, you can use that on the final as well, in addition to the 5 note cards. Yes.
Okay, how do you know that they equal?
All right, so the next one, we're saying, is there enough information to conclude that the lines are parallel? No. This is the converse of what we did with parallel and perpendicular, just the parallel lines with the transversal. So if you can show that any of the special angle relationships exist, then you can conclude the lines are parallel. These are corresponding angles and they're congruent to one another, so the lines would be parallel. So you'd say yes because the corresponding angles are congruent. Number 22, we do have congruent angles, but those are vertical angles, so that is not enough information to prove anything. So this is not enough info. All right, so this is that stuff I was talking about with the parallel lines and the transversal. There are a bunch of different relationships. The trick is to remember which ones make the angles congruent and which ones are supplementary. So here, I'll just make you a little note. These are alternate. Actually, let's make more of a list. If they're congruent or if they add to 180. Okay, so I'm going to make a list of the ones that are congruent, a list of the ones that add to 180. In number 23, those are what we call alternate exterior angles, because they're on different sides of the transversal and they're outside of the parallel lines. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. So the measure of angle 1 is just 100 degrees. It's the same thing. Okay. Number 24, these are on different sides of the transversal, but now they're inside the parallel lines. So we call these alternate interior angles. But they're still congruent. Okay, so the measure of angle 2 is going to be the same. It's going to be 120 degrees. Number 25, this is the oddball, okay? Same side of the transversal inside the parallel lines. Those are the ones that add to 180. Those are called same side interior. Okay, so if you have same side interior angles, you're going to do 180, subtract the angle you know. That'll give you the one that you're looking for. All right, so this will be 65 degrees. Number 26, do you know what type of angles those are? They're on different sides of the transversal, but inside the other two. Alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are congruent. So what's the measure of angle 4? 70 degrees. Number 27. What type of angles are these? Actually, we haven't looked at these types yet. They're in the same position. We were talking about them on the previous page. When they're in the same position. Same position is called corresponding. Corresponding angles are also congruent. So this one's going to be 80 degrees. Excuse me. And then 28, those are the oddball, the same side interior, so we're going to do a 180 minus. And you get 60 degrees. Excuse me. Oh, I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. All right, questions on these. This is a lot. These will definitely be on the final. We talked about translation on the first page. It's just when you take a figure and you slide it. Okay, it has the SL in the middle. That's how I remember translation. You slide. So 29 is a no because it's rotated. 30 is a yes. 31 is a no because the size changed. Same idea here. Anyone know the answers?
No, he didn't know.
It's another no because it's flipped. Yes, it's a slide. No, because the size changed. No, yes, no. All right, the next one. So now we have to describe the translation first in words, then in coordinate notation. The one with the little, they look like apostrophes almost, those are the ones that we call prime. Prime. Okay? So we start at the original, we count how we would get to the prime. So on this one, I would go 2 jumps to the right, 3 jumps up. So we go 2 jumps to the right, so right 2, then we go up 1, 2, 3, up 3. Now we write it in coordinate notation like this. Do you guys remember a change to the right is an adding to the x, up is adding to the y? Yeah, this stuff is not fun. This is definitely something that could go on the note card. All right, number 36, same idea. We start with the ones with the originals, just the regular, and we count over to the primes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So left 5. And then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if you are going left 5, that is subtracting from the x. If you are going down, that's subtracting from the y. So if we want to make a quick little, like a key over here. So if you go right, it's x plus whatever. If you go left, it's x minus whatever. If you go up, it's y plus whatever. Down is y minus whatever. And the whatever is how many spaces you jumped. So this might be helpful note card information. All right, and I'm just going to do these 2 real quick. These are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. Congruent means equal. Set them equal. Solve for the x. Okay? Number 38, those are same side interior. Same side interior are supplementary. So in this one, we add them to 180. And we get that x equals 20. All right, I'm going to leave that up there because that's a whole lot of information just right at the end. I'm going to give you your note cards first for these 2 chapters. And then if we have time, we can go over the chapter 4 review.
You know we don't have time.
I don't think we're going to have time, so I'll probably end up just posting the answer key on Google Classroom.
Okay.
Questions?